Okay, keep on going with the Capcom versus SNK theme that I've been trying to do for some of this month. I've done Ryo or Ryu and Ryo. So I had a Street Fighter character versus a Art of Fighting character. This time I'm deciding to go with Ken Masters, a Street Fighter character, versus Terry Bogard. Obviously one of the biggest, most important characters created by the SNK franchise. And he's been in multiple, well, I think almost every Fatal Fury one, as well as a lot of their King of Fighters. So this one I've got a different sort of scenario. I've got experience, I've got in-close fighting, how are they when it comes to reach, strength, speed, energy projectiles, and versatility. And in this one, essentially, if it's 4-3, the person who is 4 more than likely should win. Are there scenarios the person with 3 could win? Yes. It's just kind of the way that it is. So we'll go first and foremost with experience. You know, Ken kind of had a pampered life up until when he hit 12. Then his father, a rich tycoon, decided his son essentially needed a little more in the way of discipline, and sent him off to become trained in the martial arts. Terry was kind of orphaned after one of his main villains, Geese Howard, killed his father, and then took to the streets to learn street fighting, kickboxing, boxing, Muay Thai. So you've got a kid who essentially kind of grew up on the streets fighting almost every single day. In that standpoint, I have to give the experience edge to Terry. There's a difference between when you're someone who had a very rich, almost a very sheltered life, and then going into the martial arts versus somebody who is essentially fighting to survive. In close, you ever played these two characters? After a while, Ken became a lot faster character. And ironically, in most of the games, in-close fighting is very good. Now, so I'm going to give in-close fighting to Ken. When it comes to overall reach, and this one, once you get more to like the mid-range, this definitely becomes what Terry's got a good ability at. And this one you're looking at moves like, the rising tackle is good up close. Power dunk is a great move that's got a little bit of distance to it, as well as moves like the burning knuckle. He's also got some different like shoulder charge moves. So he's got moves that give him that good way to cover the small amount of distance, so it gives him a good mid-range, which I would consider reach. Now we're at strength. When you look at these two characters, a lot of the speed aspect definitely didn't go to Ken. Ken became a much faster character. He didn't become a real knockdown artist. If you look at almost every move that you see from Terry, Terry has got just straight knockdown power. He doesn't have a lot of combinations. He's got moves that just knock you down. That's the way his style is. It's a very straightforward, very hard style. So therefore, Ken takes him in the speed category. And this one you kind of see that there's polar opposites out of the two. So now we're down to energy projection. How good are these guys when it comes to their distance fighting? In one hand, Ken has the fireball. And he pretty much kept the same fireball throughout all of the video games. He never really acquired any additional projectile moves. On the other side, you've got the power wave. But over time, Terry developed different styles of the power wave. He had one that was just an in-close burst, one that had distance to it. But he also had a super called the Power Geyser. His Power Geyser super allowed him either to shoot a straight column of energy up or an angled energy column. So I have to give energy projection to Terry. Terry just has a tremendous amount more when it comes to energy projectiles. Now, if Ken had studied kind of like Ryo or Ryu, if you don't pronounce it, and had picked up more fireball moves, he might be able to take him when it comes to the distance. But at range, the amount of energy projection you can get from Terry is far superior to Ken. Now overall versatility. If you've ever seen a move list for these guys, Ken really didn't gain that much more beyond the 3 moves. He pretty much is still a fireball, dragon punch, hurricane kick. He can do 2 of them in the air, but they're still essentially the exact same moves. Now if you look at Terry, Terry started out with Power Wave, Rising Tackle, Burning Knuckle. Then you get the Power Dunk. Now he's a whole bunch of moves where it's kind of like it's a short range 2-hit Burning Knuckle. So it'll be run and punch, short tap, big power shot. Okay. He also has lots of tackles, different styles of how he does, as well as a little trap shot, which is kind of his flipping forward kick. Terry has a tremendous amount of moves. It seems you can do quarter circle, forward or back, he's got a move. Half circle, forward or back, he's got a move. Hit punch, hit kick, doesn't matter, he's got a move. He is a walking arsenal of moves, and probably one of the most powerful characters created during the Fatal Fury franchise. Second only to the boss characters, and probably Rock Howard. So, if these two guys were to fight, I do picture Terry. Terry's going to do a really good job at defeating Ken. You've got a guy where even though he's very well trained, he still had a privileged life early on versus a guy who essentially is kind of happy-go-lucky but has had a much more difficult life and has defeated some undeniably powerful enemies.